Hello everybody, I'm Jessica and welcome back to Shokei Shoujo no Virgin Road, episode 2. Uh, Today, it seems, in this episode, we will finally meet our second main character, so to speak. The girl that's everywhere in promotional posters and whatnot. She also appears in the opening. I'm not sure if she appears in the ending. Did we see the opening? Did we see the ending? I'm not sure. I might be talking out of my ass, but I know for sure that she's essentially the second main character, and Menou will be traveling with her. Besides that, I don't quite know what to expect. Yeah, and that's essentially all I have to say. The previous episode was mostly establishing a lot of world, establishing a lot of characters, mostly world. We know that there is an organization in the world that tries to limit the amount of isekai people, and by limit the amount of isekai people, I mean they are just straight out murdering them to get rid of them. And our main protagonist, our Menou, is a member of that church, and she goes around assassinating isekai people. And in the last episode, she isekai'd a void powers Kirito. That's essentially it. Yeah, yeah. That's actually it. Besides the world being established as something fairly developed because of all the knowledge that people from other world bring there, and the church being established, and how dangerous the people from other world are being established, not much more happened. One thing for sure, the magic system is amazing, and I can't wait to see more of it. And the animation, the sound design, everything is top notch. It really is. I thought I might get bored of isekais, but isekai is a fascinating genre because on one hand you have some of the most bog standard and imaginative stories and boring characters, but on the other hand you have some of the most imaginative and most original stories in that genre. For every 10 isekai smartphones you have one overlord, right? And that's probably why I like isekai so much. Because sure, you have to go trudge through a lot of shit, but you can find some real diamonds, some buried somewhere deep. Sure, your hands might be a little bit smelly after digging through so much shit, but with the diamonds you find, you will be able to buy all the soap you will ever need. So, I guess there's no point in me talking anymore. We're just gonna watch it. We're just gonna watch it and see. And if you're curious about other isekais that I'm watching, you can subscribe to the channel to be notified of other isekais. So Tatanusha no Nari Agari, Shield Hero, and in another world as a skeleton knight or something like that. I forgot the title of it. Essentially, Ark Ulgaun, but a knight. Eins Ulgaun, but a knight with, and I called him Ark Ulgaun because it's a nice pun. At least I think so. So if you want more isekais, they are on this channel. Rest assured. Sound subs, and we can start. But not before I ask you guys. Did you think about what original knowledge can you bring to another world if you ever get isekai'd? If you didn't, leave a comment below the previous video, leave a comment below this one. Because I'm curious. I'm curious what original and unique skills that would be valuable for an isekai fantasy medieval society do you possess. It's always interesting, an interesting thought exercise. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling now, and we're gonna start watching episode 2 of Shokei Shoujo No Virgin Road in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're getting a little bit of an intro. Pure concepto. It genuinely it sounds weird that they say that she says pure concept in Japanese instead of saying pure concepto. I'm so used to hearing English used in names of things and attacks and skills and whatnot that pure concept not being pronounced as pure concepto is really weird. And this is pineapple and the marasca cherry tea. Invoke thread. I really, really like the magic system in this world. Is this the girl from your dreams, Menou? Because I have a feeling she might be. Okay, so what we've seen as an ending in the last episode is really an opening. Gotcha. She reminds me of someone. The Isekai girl. I can't recall what character she reminds me of, but she does remind me of some character from anime. Those puffy, a little scraggy black hair. I can't put my hand on it. Also, someone pointed out that the pink-haired girl is very much like uh, the Twin Tails girl from Index to the Piri Piri. I forgot her name. Misaka. Yeah, she's Misaka, and the pink hair is the Twin Tails. His name I forgot. That's very much the vibe. Yeah, someone pointed it out, and now I can't unsee it. Okay, using the truth as a basis for her lies. Yeah, sure. Okay, how can a power of healing be actually used for evil, though? Void powers? Sure, understandable. Healing? Yeah. Shank? Stabity stab? Stabity stab. But okay, so it's not healing, it's time. She's just gonna reverse time. And revive. So she's essentially immortal. Because it seems like every lost one invokes their power when they die unconsciously. So every time she dies, she will just reverse the time. Oh, that's a very interesting take on immortality. That's super interesting take on immortality. I mean, it works perfectly as a distraction. Hand holding is what we're gonna do. Invoke flight. Invoke anti-gravity. Invoke trampoline. Hmm. Okay. Is it actually a fact or is it just a teaching of the church, though? Okay, it seems to be a fact. Because it's probably bullshit. Hmm. That's interesting, and this will become relevant somehow. Also, wouldn't just returning her to her original world be the best way to get rid of her? Or is the execution chamber really a get you back to your world chamber? The same way they summon them within some special chambers. So pure, so innocent. Oh, they have railroad. She's very open, talking about romance and wondering what feelings will develop between them. Let me guess, she doesn't want to go back. Hmm. Did Menou have the same feeling? Yep. And she has to listen to them flirting. Oh, for a moment I thought it's already the end, but no, thankfully it's just 12 minutes in. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Miss Poobalicious. Uh, she will just reverse the working of poison. But she grabbed the third ticket. Yes, please! Oh, you have great instinct. Oh. Right, she might start having second thoughts. She's already having second thoughts. Your wife won't let you go alone with your mistress. You better get used to it. A few days is enough. Okay, so they're childhood friends. Second thoughts? Ah, yeah, she's the girl from her dreams. She's literally the dream girl. That's hella advanced. CG crowd. Yeah, I love Victorian era architecture. Ether. So Etherpunk is accurate, like literally accurate. So you're burning souls to run your trains. It's very light-hearted, unsettlingly so. Is she gonna heal her face? Oh no. She's gonna help her find her mommy. Oh, she's gonna heal her. Someone's calling me? Well, that's not a great time to call me. Gonna have to wait a little. And Akari is already using healing. Yeah, about staying inconspicuous. Uno reverse. Let me guess, throughout their journey, Menou is gonna warm up more and more towards not just Akari, but towards the world as a whole, towards people. uh, Momo is straight up not having a good time, and who is she? I like you. Who are you? Please don't be a villain. Please don't be an enemy. Princess. Warrior princess. Please join us on our journey. Everybody goes to Garm, huh? It's like Polar Express. You literally are. Is the princess gonna join them? Why am I getting the feeling that Menou will eventually save her from the execution? She'll become an apostate and she'll save Akari. I can see more or less where it's going. I think, at least. Okay. I'm gonna take some notes. Symphogear, Tokyo 24, Kugia, Virgin Road. While we're waiting through the ending, Menou will warm up. Will warm up. And in the end, save Akari from execution. There we go. Yeah, that's for sure where it's going. For sure. Taboo in red. Huh. And roll the credits. I guess it's whatchamacallit, a Netflix rip or something, because usually Netflix has credits like that. Doesn't matter. Let's go through it again. Yeah, reminder of the previous episode a little bit. I'm a priestess, pure, just, and strong. Again, I fucking love the magic system of this world. And I know you from my dreams. You are the fated one. Fate brought us together. Yep, 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 yep. They are both thinking the exact same thing. What school and class are you from? Based on her answer, the girl's definitely my target. That's smart. Unless. Or rather than unless. Until the education in this world develops enough that they also have, like, schools and classes. And they also name their schools, their class, like A2 or whatever. Then this method of discerning them would be quite, ineffective. I like how in her lies she uses the truth. The best lies come out of truth because it's the easier to keep them consistent. Just something to keep in mind if you ever need to lie. It's a power that can heal. Well, it's quite a bit more than that. Pure concepto time. And she reverses her own death. That's a super interesting concept of immortality. Anytime you die, a magic that reverses time to just before you died is automatically invoked. And due to the fact that the more you use a pure concept, the bigger a chance is for it to run rampant, they can't even do an SCP containment to her, like putting her in a vat of acid or whatever, because every time she dies and revives, her time control powers become stronger, and eventually she just reverts the universe to the Big Bang. That's very interesting. I love Momo. She's a great character. I'm sure her power isn't healing, but time regression. Sword of Soul that melted the western continent into the sea. Material room that took over the wild frontier in the east. Okay, so those are the four major human errors. Huge catastrophes, cataclysms uh, caused by the Lost Ones. Ceremonial hole that can eliminate any outworlder. I have my suspicion that it's a ceremonial hole that can really just send them back to their world. Unless they have the technology to somehow strip them of their powers in that ceremonial hole. Master Fleur never once relied on my help, so I assume she never told you. 3 days. Something tells me their journey to Garm will take a little bit more than 3 days. Otherwise... Otherwise, I'm led to believe that the execution won't go this smoothly. And I like both prospects. Yeah, Akari just doesn't give a fuck. She's just hyped to go on a riveting adventure of escape and to develop special feelings between them and to go on a romantic travels with her otherworld girlfriend who hides the existence of her wife before her. Made me really, really happy. Time started moving like after a long pause. They are truly destined for one another, but why and how and what's the deal with it? That I don't know. We know that Menou's been seeing Akari in her dreams. Akari also saw Menou and immediately thought, oh, hey, that's my soulmate. Pure Momo. She's pouty, understandably so. Yeah, we can't make a quick work of her. I'd rather kill King Grisarika and force the trial to end so that I can catch up with you. My initial reaction to it was that I was mistaken. I thought that she says I'd rather kill the king of Garm, which is where they're going, to, so that the mission is invalidated or whatever, and she can be with her. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm feeling like Momo can go two ways. Assuming Menou will save Akari from execution, thus becoming an apostate, either Momo will have to hunt down Menou, or Momo will join Menou. Momo has to hunt down Menou, or Momo joins Menou on her escape with Akari. Let's word it that way. Yeah, I should never leave the two of you alone. Probably your instincts are correct, because I very much have the feeling that Menou will slowly but surely warm up to Akari, and in the end she won't be able to kill her. She will either change her mind after Akari is already put in the chamber, and she will rescue Akari from there, or she will change her mind as soon as they arrive to Garm, and she will, not lead Akari into the execution chamber. Something will happen. Something like that will happen for sure. CG crowd. Man, it's hard to look at this CG crowd after watching Skeleton Knight in Another World. CG in Skeleton Knight was absolutely astounding. Compared to this, it's night and day. Ether. So it's, as I mentioned, literally etherpunk. Literally an etherpunk world. Of course, her first instinct is to use her powers, regardless. And Menou, look, Menou isn't that hard-boiled killer. It's just her facade. She takes her time to talk to a kid and play around with bubbles, to tell her, oh, look how cute those bubbles are. I can do that. Isn't it great? Are you having fun, little girl? And then she's happy. See you. The facade she's putting on when trying to cozy up to her targets, I have a feeling it's not really a facade, it's the real her. The facade she's putting on is the facade of a cold-blooded, hard-boiled killer. And Akari is seeing right through it. Here comes the princess. Really reminds me of Christina from Precon. And she's just heading for Garm. Why? I've no clue. Why does she have a sword? I've no clue. Why is she wearing this? I've no clue, but I appreciate all of those facts. She'd be, the only way she'd be a better character if she wasn't a swordswoman but a brawler. I'm a sucker for brawlers, you probably know that already. And they're headed for Garm. The ED is nothing special, so I'm not gonna analyze it, because there's no need. That's a very interesting beginning, because it reveals a lot of stuff. It explains a lot of the questions that we might have had, but also leaves a lot of secrets and leaves a lot of development of the characters open and leaves a lot of hooks in the future, right? The princess just arriving there it's not gonna be inconsequential. The princess will absolutely come into play. Um, Akari existing in Menou's dreams, that's not inconsequential. It's gonna come into play. The girls disappearing in Garo, that's not inconsequential. It's absolutely gonna come into play. It's This episode was chock full of Chekhov's guns, and we need to wait for them to fire. And I have a feeling they will fire soon. They will start firing soon. How exactly? Very hard to predict. I'm not sure if something's gonna go wrong during their journey. The journey is very short, a day and some, from what we heard. So I doubt something will go awry there. I doubt it's gonna be something like their train gets attacked and they have to hide in the forest, and Akari's skills are super useful there because she has to save Menou or Momo or the princess, and then they journey through the forest to arrive to Garo, and Menou grows closer with Akari or something like that. I doubt it's gonna go this way. Uh, a more probable course of action would be, I think, that they arrive to Garo, but something goes awry with the execution itself. Either Menou has a change of heart and rescues Akari before the execution even happens, or uh, Menou rescues Akari from within the execution chamber, possibly even sacrificing herself, and Akari later being able to revive her thanks to her timey-wimey powers. That's another possibility. Or something goes wrong with the execution itself. It turns out that the chamber they were using that is supposedly effective against any outworlder that cannot be gotten rid of by usual means is actually ineffective against Akari, because her time powers just make her revive no matter what. That would be a very interesting thing, because that would mean she just cannot be killed by any means. So the one and only way of getting rid of her is to make her return to her original world. That is, of course, assuming that it's not how the execution chamber works already. I have a suspicion it might be working that way. Hmm. Yeah, it's going. I mean, it's episode 2, and we're already at the point where Akari is headed towards for the execution chamber. Uh, I would think, I would think that it's something left for the finale, where where Menou has a change of heart and rescues Akari, and they have to run, and that's left possibly for a second season. But I have a feeling it's gonna happen much earlier. Let me take a quick look at the OP. Yeah, that's a classroom, and they're completely blacked out. Or rather, their skin is completely black. But that's definitely Akari and Menou holding hands. Question: is this something that actually happened in their past, or is it just symbolic for the OP? It's not something that actually has any, reflection in the series itself. It's just something for the OP. Mm, swords, not swords, daggers. Momo flying. The princess standing in fire and sparks with her sword. Couple more characters. Some kid with crazy eyes and seemingly a priestess. A couple enclosed in a crystal. Akari reviving Menou with a kiss. And Menou standing against. That looks like her master. Short spiky hair. The head is blacked out, but no, it doesn't look like Blair. It doesn't look like her master. Who is she facing off against then? The clothes of whoever it is very much look like a priest's clothes, and the dagger, which seems to be the priest's weapon of choice. Which leads me to believe my theory that Menou will become an apostate. Or if not an apostate, then she will become an. What's the name when you're expelled from church? When you leave willingly, it's apostasy. When you're expelled, it's. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Um, Apostasy. An act of refusing to continue to follow, obey, or recognize a religious faith. Okay, so that's apostasy. But being thrown out of church is the act of name. Excommunication. Yeah, excommunication. Apostasy and excommunication. That leads me to believe that theory. One thing for sure, it's gonna be interesting. It's already interesting. I'm already invested, but it's gonna be even more interesting. And I also love the contrast of happy-go-lucky adventure, but then there is murder, and there is bad things happening, and the entire continents being destroyed and whatnot. It's cool. It's cool. Uh, the Skeleton Knight in Another World also has a lot of contrast like that, and I'm a sucker for that. I have to admit, but I don't think any show has done the contrast mm, between the kind of feeling and the theme and what's actually shown. And none has gotten it better than Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu. Watch Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu. I have a reaction series to it on my channel. If you don't want to watch this reaction series, just watch it on your own. But the constant feeling of uneasiness that Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu gives you is absolutely unreal. It's absolutely unreal. You constantly are doubting whether or not someone's gonna die or someone's gonna get assassinated or something bad is gonna happen, and it's constant and constant and constant. But what you see on the screen is extremely happy-go-lucky, and they're having fun and they're having romantic adventures and whatnot, but the fear and tension grips on your heart. It's amazing. It truly is. Truly, truly is. Uh, okay, I think that's gonna be it. That's all I have to say about this episode. But what do you guys have to say about it? Leave me a comment down below. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What did you think of my theories? I'd be curious to hear about that as well. Like this episode if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, and not only Virgin Road, but also Tate no Yusho no Nariagari Season 2, also Skeleton Knight in Another World, also Symphogear Season 2, and two other shows. One of them is a seasonal, one of them is a non-seasonal, so stay tuned to figure out what those shows are. Join my Discord server, link is right there. Right there is the link to my Discord server where you can talk about things related or unrelated to Virgin Road. I know there's a source material, so if you want to discuss some spoilers, please don't spoil me. I beg of you, I want to enjoy it myself, purely blind. But if you want to talk with fellow fans, fellow people who also are familiar with the source material, you can do it on my Discord. There is a Virgin Road channel where you can use spoiler tags and talk with people about spoilery stuff. If you want to support me monetarily, you can do so on Patreon, link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a special channel on my Discord server, you get access to a role, and that role also gives you an orange name. For $5, you get to vote in polls. One of the shows coming up comes from such a poll, and for $10, you get early access to my early releases of non-seasonal shows, which is right now Symphogear G, and that one mystery show that comes from poll is also non-seasonal, and it will be available 1 week early for Patreons. Share this video with people who you think would enjoy it, to spread the word, because the more you spread the word, the more YouTube itself spreads the word, and I'm happy because more and more people watch my videos, and it's a great feeling for a content creator. So, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And here's yet another benefit that all my patrons get, no matter the tier they subscribe to. They get to be in the credits of every single episode of mine.